From digging through boulders to diving deeper than ever, before here is how divers strike huge nuggets of gold underwater every time we watch an episode of Gold Rush White Water. We're reminded of just how extreme gold mining can be, whether it's braving ice-cold glacier torrents, rappelling down remote canyon walls in the Alaskan wilderness, or diving blindly into raging rapids with nothing but a hose and a dream. This show captures the thrill and danger like no other. These miners risk life and limb in some of the harshest environments imaginable, all for a shot at finding that elusive gold. What do we mean? Join us as we dive into some of the most intense underwater gold discoveries ever seen on Gold Rush Whitewater. We start off with the time the team deep into a 4-hour dive at Nugget Creek. This just happened to be the first dive of the season, and with it came a lot of excitement and enthusiasm. You could hear it in the voices of the guys that were above water, eagerly anticipating that discovery of gold by Carlos. They asked for what he was seeing down there. Although Carlos would have loved to tell them, he had just set his eyes on a chest brimming with gold. He had to make do with the fact that he had come across this little cave that said it did look deep. The possibilities were endless. There may be a chance that the gold-covered structure could lead them to something that could change their lives forever. To get down to business, Carlos got to work by using a pressure hose to break up the hard rock. Once this was done, the next thing on the agenda was to use the suction hose to feed the gold-catching dredge. Although this was a difficult task, the team showed their excitement as it grew by the moment. Things looked good, and with any luck, they may be able to leave the creek with a surprising amount of gold. After some time, Carlos brought his activities to an end. Before long, he was back above water, so he could join the others to see if their efforts had paid off. Let's just say it did pay off. Gold nugget, no way, no way. That's a gold nugget, first gold ever. This early, oh my gosh. Just look at that beautiful nugget of gold. Noticing how beautiful this gold is, you can't blame the guys from jumping with jubilation. Amidst the jubilations, the guys found that they picked up some other nuggets amid the mess. This just might be a great season for the boys. It was a really good feeling for the boys, because they had been in need of such a find for such a long time now. Next up, we take a look at the time when James spent up to 6 hours diving deep into Nugget Creek. The search for gold was intense, especially as so far they had only been able to come away with some rocks. Such a sad show for all the work they had done out there, but they knew that they had to keep on pushing. There's round rock caught in it, there's slate hard pack. I think we're close to something good. Music. The dowsing rods that they had in their possession did tell them that they were on the right path, so our only guess is that they had no choice in the matter. Really, they had to push on if they were going to get their hands on that beautiful gold. After some more digging, James came across some bedrock features that caught his interest. The discovery of the hard pack in particular was a great sign, and with any luck they would get to the gold that they desired once the hard pack is cleared out of the way. This did prove to be something of a long and tedious task, because James would end up spending even more time digging up all those rocks. They knew that this was not for nothing, because they had to get to that deep spot if they were going to get to that sweet gold. After some more digging, a tired James declared that he was done. His wrists were hurting, and he just couldn't push on any longer. Considering this, the team decided that maybe it was time for them to see if their efforts paid off. To the delight of the team, they found that they had managed to pick up a ton of ancient gold. Beautiful and heavy the gold looked like. They had just dragged up a ton of money. Looks like James' efforts really paid off, right? Such is the nature of the search for gold. They had spent a week out there searching for gold, but thanks to James' efforts and Wes dowsing methods, they were able to push past this period of pain and endurance to get their hands on this beautiful gold. Now they have a fistful of gold to make everyone happy. At another time, eager to get their hands on the gold, the team dive alongside a massive wall of rocks. Sure, they may even have to dig through some of the rocks to get to the nugget rich center line, but they had to be careful, because they wouldn't want any of the rocks to fall on them. No, that would be a terrible thing to happen. The more he comes into the weir, the steeper the wall gets, the more chance of some of these rocks falling in on top of him. As such, they found that following the nugget-rich center line would take Carlos right into the weir because 12 feet above them, thousands of boulders could be seen. Hovering above them dangerously, they wouldn't want these rocks to fall on top of them would they things would get on. Well, sure, there was a bit of a scare when Carlos was hit by falling rocks, but Carlos and the rest of the team would push on with their efforts. Indeed, after 3 hours of searching through bedrock, Carlos still wanted to keep digging well. Their efforts would pay off massively when they picked up this massive nugget of gold. It was so big and beautiful it brought most of the team to their knees. Look at that gold nugget. It could easily be the biggest nugget of gold that was discovered on the show. Well, this is encouraging, and with any luck this means that they would be digging up a literal gold mine here anytime soon. Another awe-inspiring incident that showed the team in their element as they searched for gold in rampant waters is the one which occurred when the team had a simple mission to fulfill: drill, crack open those boulders, then get to the gold that is at the bottom of the bedrock. Things looked to get up to a great start. The waters looked calm and cooperative. As such, they knew that all they had to do is keep on digging. That was really the only way they could get to that gold. This seemed pleasant enough considering the circumstances. The waters were clear enough to see through, and as such the team had a view of what was going on down there. After getting to their destination underneath the water, the team began the process of drilling through the bedrock. Soon they drilled 2 holes so that they could plant some explosives down there. You guys must have loved it when the bubbles popped up to the surface after the explosives went off, but you couldn't have loved it more than the team. To them, the explosion meant that they may actually be drawing closer to that beautiful gold down there. Truly amazing stuff. Once things settled down, the team dived into the water once more. As explosive as their dynamite was, they were still a bit anxious because they still didn't know if the explosives were powerful enough to break through the hard pack down there. Interestingly enough, when they got down there, they found that it broke the boulder off the hard pack, and this proved to be good enough for their efforts. After some time spent underwater, the team dug up all the debris they could get their hands on. They figured that once they are done clearing out all the debris by the end of the winter, they may actually get their hands on that amazing gold soon. The end of the season approached, and the team threw one final throw of the dice to see if they could actually get their hands on that gold that they had spent so much time looking for. After 7 hours of diving and digging down about 15 feet, the team anxiously checked the box they had extracted from the water. This would be their longest dive of the season, and they hoped that it would pay off. This was one heck of a gamble, and they would hate to see it fail, although they initially were disappointed because their saw only contained a small amount of gold. Morale boosted soon after they came across this beautiful nugget of gold that was buried beneath some of the heavier boulders. Soon they found some similar nuggets of gold, and as such, everything was good, as this proved to be the most gold they had found since they came across Carlos's massive nugget of gold. Hopefully this will be the beginning of a successful time for them and all the other gold prospectors looking for gold next season. From digging through boulders to diving deeper than ever before, here is how divers strike huge nuggets of gold underwater.